You know, I still can't believe we managed to get to 50 episodes of Devlog Time. I still love saying that. But yes, 50 episodes. So I figured why not do a recap and kind of remind you of some of the things that have happened over the years. And no, I'm totally not doing this so I've got an extra week to work on stuff so I can show off more next week. Fun fact, all the devlogs added together is over 13 hours worth of footage to edit. It probably would have been faster just to make something and do a normal episode. But I've started this now. And again, thank you. All of Kamen Rider Double is in. And whilst I've been working on Double and re-adding Double, I've been having a bit of help over on the Discord. Just checking now. I don't know how it's meant to be pronounced. So I'm just saying Exos and L have been helping me with the shower stuff. And as you can see, when I did the stream last, it was the Shower Riders up to Z-Cross. It didn't have Black RX. Shin. Is that J and that Zo, or is that Zo and that J? I'm saying that's J and that Zo. If I'm wrong, potato. Just potato. And either way, Black Sun and Amazons are also now in. This is something I worked on. This is actually really cool. Oh, I love how goofy they look. I could have gone for the whole Shocker Rider thing, the way it was done prior, but with some of the other types of villagers, like the ones that spawn in cold places, they'll look kind of weird and goofy. Might still re-add that texture, I don't know. I have no idea what's going on. But I thought I'd just show you some of the things that have happened and been added. I added this last night. Next, you might notice Cougars here, and Agito, and Faiz. Yep. L and Axos is it? Whilst I was, honestly, whilst I was in the back of the car on a driving back from the holiday, it was like, I looked at my phone and was like, Cougars in. Agito's in. Faiz is in. Oh my god. What's been done? What's been happening since the last time I recorded? Because that was actually quite a while ago. Series-wise, pretty much everything, every series is now represented that was in the mod prior. A few of the series are still very incomplete. Forza is the one I'm working on at the moment. As you can see, most of the switches are back in, and I just wanted to get as much as possible to be as annoying as possible for the person that was sorting out the textures. Sorry for that, Doc. But I had to. Drive's coming along. Gaim, everything's... all the forms, I think all the weapons for Gaim are in. Yeah, it's not obtainable yet because we're working on Helheim. So that will be done at some point. Drive is very incomplete. I gotta admit, I love having a team. I can just like half do something and say, okay, you can finish this. I'm gonna do this now. And it allows me to bounce all over the place, and whenever I want to work on something, I can just work on that thing. Build, L is working on build at the moment. We go in this. Slowly the bottles are filling up. Doc is working on ZO, which, yeah, there's a lot of ZO. I even added this. Yeah, I actually added this. With the glow effect, I've only added it to a few riders, but parts of the suits actually do, well, glow. With the ride comments, I found out, with like the visors and that, if I do the glow effect on that piece, I can make it transparent. So that's what I did here with Barek's smoke effect. This is going to be for the smoke module. And what cannon does, it lets you shoot a fireball. Radar is another one I was working on at the weekend. This is one of my favourite effects now, because it gives the glow effect to mobs. But what happens with stealth is it gives you invisibility when you sneak. If you made it to this point in the video, Let's come up with something stupid to say, like sheep. Might notice this one. Merry Christmas. Most of Gavv's forms are now in the game. There's a few God Teacher's Knows that aren't in, as well as there's a few that don't do anything currently. Load up Gavv. You can see it's starting to fill up. Oh. So Majade is in. Gotchard is actually coming along nice. We got Gotchard, Majade, Valvarad, the normal version, not Kamen Rider Valvarad, Dread, Legend. This is the only part of Gotchard I actually did. I'm leaving Gotchard to L, but I wanted to add Daybreak just to force L to do more. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you're watching this. Yeah. All of Build's riders and forms are in. The only thing I can definitively say is not going to be in this update is Evil X from Outsiders, and that's just because we haven't made it yet. So we can't add something if I haven't made it, or L hasn't made it, or anyone hasn't made it. ZO is mostly in. I kind of don't really know what point ZOs are at the moment because I'm leaving it to dock. Either way, actually, I haven't clicked this yet. Yeah, it still works. Oh, I'm so happy about that. You can see over here some of the game stuff. It's got its own wood, it's got its own plants, it's got everything, but Helheim needs a lot of work. Forze is in. Forze should be 100%. And what happens is when you use it, you get an item, and I just had to get coal first. I've kind of lost for words. But essentially this... Okay, coal. Yay! Something that isn't coal. This is going to be how you get the Christmas... I've showed this off during a live stream, but I'll show it off here. We do now have new doors for in here. Oh, the painting is still messed up. It's not very good now, is it? But when you come in here, you do this. It turns on gravity. Now you have gravity. Slowly, one by one, every rider that uses ore, and if it's ore and ore gives you materials which you then use to craft stuff, that's one thing. But if it's ore that just straight away gives you the form items, I want to replace that. Cougar ore, for example, the double wizard ores, those 3 ores are 3 ores I want to keep. The rest of the ores I do at some point want to replace with something that feels a bit more unique to that series. Drive was one of those series that I've been wanting to make something a bit more unique for quite a while. So I've started the Drive rebuild. These chests over here, if anyone's wondering, I don't use spreadsheets, I don't use documents, I don't use anything to plan out my updates, I use chests. Believe it or not, these are all plans. If you saw my stream from last night, you would understand some of these plans. Saber is one of the last few series to have riders or forms to be ported from the 1.12. So if you're looking at every other series has every rider and form, as far as I'm aware. There might be one missing from the 1.12 in this version. So the port from the 1.12 to the 1.21 is almost done. And you have no idea how excited I am about that, because I can finally start working on some new stuff. Hello, trader. Have you got anything? No. You're not my friend. We got Evil X. I don't like this texture. One day I'll come in and update. I've just realised. No. This 1 pixel here is wrong. This 1 pixel. It's wrong. That's going to annoy me. That's going to annoy me. I still don't like the bikes. So long. I mean long. I mean, really long. I mean, really long. Ma. Voice is a rolling poop. I love the way that sounds like an insult. Yeah, it's factually correct. This is a rolling voice poop. Now I just need to remember how you get out this seat. I've made Vwam. I know it's Vram, not Vwam. But it's really fun to say Vwam. Just say Vwam. It's fun. Vwam has pudding and jelly forms. As I said, I got distracted. What was I doing instead of finishing Drive? What I was doing is I updated Cougar. Cougar's updated now. I might be able to put a picture here of what Cougar used to look like. And you can see the new Cougar. The shading actually is correct now. The horns are actually now 3D now. And it actually looks amazing. But that looks so much better. I mean, there is kind of a bad side effect now that I've done Cougar. And that's the rest of the riders kind of look like they need updating. I mean, just comparing these two next to each other, it's like, why? Why are you like this? Why do you just stop? Why don't you go up? Why are you bald? We go Fire's next. Yay! Thank you, Chair. If you don't know where this is from, it was a prize giveaway from a magazine. I might put a picture here. I can't scroll to the top corner because Minecraft. But yeah, it's an amazing little thing. There's actually one on eBay currently. I saw the other day. But wow, that's a lot of money. We have a ball. It rolls. It rolls. Let them all glow. And I actually finally got the glowing belts to work. So, let me know. Should I go through and do this for every rider? Add some glowing eyes and some glowing belts where appropriate. I'm not going to chuck it on a rider that doesn't have glowing eyes or a glowing belt. But over here, you can see some more examples of what the glowing forms could look like. Black Sun here looks amazing. Black Sun, the glowing eye version of Black Sun was in before, but now the belt is actually in and glows, and I don't care what anyone says, that looks awesome. You might have heard some of the music playing in this video. Yes, we are adding music discs. Thanks to Hosif's Hostar, we now have some music that I can put in the mod and not absolutely be terrified of getting copyright struck. So, thank you. You notice? You see what that says? You see what that says? That says ride a kick. Because now, you can ride a kick. Okay. You remember last time? I was talking about how I remade the model? Or, Cougar? Well, this time, technically I've remade every single model. Including Cougar. I remade Cougar again. I should be able to put a screenshot up here, but this is the after, and then this is the before model, and the model's slimmed down quite a lot. I've actually changed the entire way that the model kind of renders and works and things. I changed quite a lot under the hood to kind of get this working. I want some feedback. Tell me, did I do a good job? Did I do please let me know. It now looks pretty amazing, and to be honest, every rider suit now looks quite a bit better. I can hear chickens. This is the right world. Yeah, I forgot I put a voiceover here. But I've started setting up this world with every form, just so I can come in here and look at models and things like that. Oh no, I didn't want to show that off. Oh no. So here we have all the forms for Cougar. There's a couple of new ones. You might notice growing here. There's two forms of growing. This is the growing that appeared in Kamen Rider Decade, as well as we now have the black-eyed versions for Ultimate and Rising Ultimate. So I think we've got pretty much every normal styled form for Cougar now. The only forms I can think of which we've not got are the final form rides and the weird stage show one that looks like stone. In the last video, I mentioned that I had added rider kicks, but that's a bit boring. So I made it now, so I can actually program unique effects depending on which form you're in. So for example, if I transform into the card armor form, I chose the card armor form because it was electricity, and I had an amazing idea for an electric rider kick. So I missed. Yeah, I made it so rider kicks can actually shoot lightning. Technically, I could now customize them to be anything. I could add giant explosions. I can add effects. I think previously I showed the fact that we got music discs, but now we've got a lot more. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to be playing a lot of these songs as background music from this point forwards. The sort of logo space is back. I love this build. But there's so many little tricks. Like if you take this book and move it from there to there, it opens up this door. And in here's a hidden room. So honest question. Do you think I'm actually going to manage to do this as a weekly thing? Let's see if I can remember the name. Endaguba Zaba? Ah, it's close enough. Which spelling did you go for in the end? Oh no! It's actually called Gourd. We're jokingly referring to Gold Drive as Gourd Drive because of the whole spelling thing. I'm going to put a thing on the screen here. Oh no. I need to go in and correct that back to Gold Drive. But once you get the Roymute cores, you can craft the Gold Drive boss block, and then you can fight Gold Drive. McCougars. Chat, you can't stop me now. You can't stop me. I can have as many McCougar signs as I want. Currently, I'll put a picture here of the ones Chair has done so far. I like it. I mean, I believe this is how this works. You can just craft this. Yay! Cougar. A little bit of a. That's all I had before. But now I can go. You have no idea how much I love that. Actually added like 20 odd riders or forms or rider likes to a roulette wheel and just let it spin, and then whatever it lands on, no matter what series, no matter what rider, no matter what form, I do it. I texture it. And these are the four I ended up with. This is Kamen Rider Gaia. We have Ganganji. I absolutely love this dude. We have Fake Ichigo, which appeared in one stage show that nobody cares about. And we have Black Tackle from the Girls Remix. And if I just fly over here, I absolutely love it when I can complete a new set. And we have the Girls Remix 1 set now complete. I love this. I wish this texture looked a bit better, but to be absolutely honest, that suit is a mess. I did my best to recreate it, but that suit is a mess. The complete Outsiders collection. I love this. I love this. You have no idea how much I love this. What if, I don't know, the model's 3D? I love this thing. It looks so goofy. And yeah, I even gave it the bow tie. Wait, did I? Just realised I've put the bow tie as part of the head. It looks like he's got teeth. You notice I actually gave rider kick to each the Ichigo riders. And if you rider kick... Oh, I didn't need the milk. That's worrying, it dropped 2. Should only drop... It dropped 4! Nah. Well, that's a bug. But yes, if you take out a Shocker Combat Man as Ichigo rider kicking, you get the Let's Go Rider Kick music disc. I'm just going to exit and go back in, just see if it's a client issue. Nope, it drops 4. Shoot, shoot, shoot. Right click. We open the GUI. We put them in the GUI. And then we shoot. It's a bit glitched. Or at least it was. It might be better now. That'd be nice if it is. But yes, you can summon riders now. You can even summon the newer riders. One of these days, I'm going to come through and fix these textures. At some point, they've been dyed, so they're slightly more blue than they originally were. Look at all my Rio troopers. Kamen Rider Agito is now 3D. Having Agito next to Kuga just made Agito look terrible. So I needed to make Agito 3D. Now Jay and Ryuki, I don't have that problem with. I mean, I will probably come back and update Showa and then continue through Heisei at some point. But at least for now, I am actually happy. I mean, I still need to do Gills, G3, and the another Agitos, and G1, and the another Agito, and yeah, I added an extra bit of armor just for that, and I didn't make it 3D. I made it 2D, so it matches the kind of the kind of vibe of default textures. Part of me feels like this horn should be 2D, the same as this, but I think 3D looks really cool, so I'm sticking with 3D for the horns. But for the armor, I think the 2D actually really works. Let me know what you think. Is this a good idea, or is this a bad idea? I don't know. Yep, they have glowing eyes. This is something I'm gonna start doing for everyone slowly. It's gonna be a slow progression, because I want to make sure it's done correctly for each rider, because I believe, like most riders, I have a glow mask set up. It's just I did it bare bones and kind of didn't know what I was doing. So now that I kind of know what I'm doing, I want to go through and do a proper job of the glow masks. And I think these turned out absolutely amazing. Let me know what you think about these glow masks. I did a roulette stream. During that, I did this, which is fake Ichigo. And, well, the thing is, this was a super simple form. And Metal over on the Discord was like, okay, I'm going to make it my mission to do the rest of these fake forms. So we got, I think it was Metal. We got fake V3. Fake, sometimes it's referred to as Shocker Sky Rider. Fake X, this is one where I'm like, maybe we don't need this one, because I can't really tell any difference in between the textures. There probably is a difference, but I can't work it out. So I might end up removing that one. And we have Robo Super 1, is it? This one is different because it has a yellow scarf. Yeah, there's not a lot of difference in between a lot of these. But Andrew's been working on a Bitter Gavv textures. So we got Bitter Gavv. Yay, Bitter Gavv. We also have I've heard different pronunciations of the name. I've heard bake. I've heard vake. I'm pretty sure it's bake because you bake the cookie. And technically, this is a form, not a rider. But I want to count it as a rider, so I've just put it up here as a rider. Bitter Gavv does have break cookie. Gav's doing better than Gotchard at this point. Come on, El. We need Gotchard. Gotchard wins. I made a dark treats block. You can't eat it, but I just thought it was. I've been wanting to make one of these as an item for absolutely ages. I gave it the sounds of honey. You might not be able to hear it, but it's going squelch, squelch. Sounds disgusting. Disgusting. But I also made it so you can put it on beacons and turn it brown. Because of this, it just reminds me of poop now. Goodbye. Kelco bucket release. Do they just hear me recording and go, you know what? I'm going to ruin his dog. Yeah, we worked on Gotchard. Kind of. We have the Arc 1 amalgam. This looks awesome. Looks weird and creepy. And it stares into your soul. It's so perfect. I actually made several references to Minecraft in this design. Say zombie, I actually used the zombie head. The one I can't remember here, I used the texture for the Nautilus shell. Is that how it's pronounced? I don't know. I don't care. This is a, I can't remember the name of it, but it's a meteor. It's actually a set of 3 meteors, and they kind of look like diamonds. So I actually just use the colours of the diamond texture for this one. So it's like several Minecrafty ideas and that. So it's slightly less accurate, but I feel it's better and closer to what Minecraft would do. Let me know. Let me know what you think of this. I personally really like this suit. I added the yellowed suit for Eternal. Or as I commonly call it, Pisternal. I know some people call it P-ternal, but I call it Pisternal. Cougar with no eyes, you didn't add the glow effect. You didn't add the glow effect, line. I'm going to have to do that after this, aren't I? Yep, same with Agito. You can kind of see what the form looks like, though. Ryuki. Well, L has been busy. Ganganji now has his flag. One day I'm going to update the game textures. But before then, rise up your flag. Whatever the Zangetsu version is. Nah. I did a stream and I finally got round to updating girls. This looks so much better. I judge on how good the day is going to be depending on how many of my front fans spin up on the computer. Normally, it's a 0 fan day. I consider it a pretty good day if one of the fans spin up. Today, all 3 span up. Today is a good day. These, I kept a lot of the model that I had for Girls Exceeded before. Just because I actually kind of like the 2D look with these parts. So I just carried over the horn and then added the extended bit in the center. Then we have the black version. Well, the black and gold. This still looks awesome. And then we have the card armor version, which does have the normal horns behind. Yep, we have a new boss. I don't know if this is actually set up to spawn yet. But this is partly because we're trying to make some of the things that were previously unobtainable obtainable. And by making a Crimson Veil, we're one step closer to having Giffard Rex available. Just like Giffard Rex, I kind of want to get all the final forms up to here-ish obtainable. But you craft all 4 of them and you're going to get the Desire Grand Prix Winners coin, which is Ace's coin. Now, I'm considering doing this for simplicity, where you just get kind of like all the main Geats items and you craft this. So essentially, like, the coin is the 9th tail, where each of these are considered like one of Geats' tails. So this is the 9 tails. So Boost Mark 3 or Geats 9. But Axos kind of wants to bring in the Desire statue into this. So you would give the coin to the Desire statue and get a Desire card for Geats 9 or Geats Mark 3 kind of thing. And that would link into this crafting recipe. I don't know yet. We have plans. We have ideas, we have plans, we have concepts. We have no idea what we are doing. Never trust me in a world with commands. Yeah, never trust me. But you might see we've got some oovers. In forests, you get oovers. In rivers and in oceans, you end up with Mazool. These aren't going to fall to death in rivers, are they? What if I just... Actually, you can see a Mazool there and one there. But I think that's more out of chance than anything else. And if you go Badlands, you get Gamil, if I remember right. Savannas, it's Kazari. Mountains, it is Ankh. Now, there is a bit of overlap with mountains and forests and things like that. So you might end up struggling to get Ankh. But kind of Ankh's one of the more important ones. So making it a bit more difficult is not a bad idea. But I just spotted this, so I'm going to leave the O stuff and onto this. Yeah, do you realise what this is? Now, did I end up... Nope, I did not end up with a good one. These have a habit, unfortunately, of getting flooded. But these are the ruins from Cougar. And there is some spots in here for the archaeology. Now, I believe there are some rarer items hidden in these. So it might be worth tracking these down if you want some of the more interesting things. But for the most part, you do just get Amadam stones. Crafting recipe for the blanks. Now, the idea of these crafting recipes is I want to try and link it to Wizard. Now, this might seem weird, but when you think about it, it kind of makes sense. With rings with the coloured gemstones. I know it's a bit of a stretch. I didn't feel like adding new gemstones. I mean, let's face it. Here's a description of a rider. Tell me which rider this is. A female rider that uses a silver ring to transform. This ring has a orange gemstone implanted in it. The final arc of this rider's series involves a philosopher's stone. And the main rider of this series has a dragon. Now, question. Am I talking about the female Wiseman or am I talking about Majade? See what I mean? They're basically the same thing. Put a ring in there. And you put blanks in the second slot. And then you get chemi cards. Now, you might be noticing, why are they all insect chemis? Well, that's because of the combo of the blue ring with the orange riser. If you swap out the blue ring for the green ring, plant chemis. How about the red ring? Are those animals? Yep, animals. How about the orange ring? I don't know if that's fantasy or thinking. Planet. I am still none the wiser. I'm pretty sure they're fantasy, though. What about the purple ring? I don't actually know what they are. Are those the artifact ones? I think they're the artifact ones. Is Time Lord an artifact? I thought it was a job. And if we take these out of here, we can go over to this one. Let's put some in here. Let's go blue ring. Vehicle chemies. How about the green ring? I think that's job chemies. Red ring. Is that ancient chemies? These are going to be the planetary chemies. Yeah, the sun. Perfect example. I think this is occult. Yep, Ninetales, Angel Lead. So yeah, that's how you're going to be getting your chemies, depending on which riser you use, and then which ring you put inside of the riser. You get different chemies. Now let's just pick up all these, because I'm not done. There's actually still more you can do with these risers. Did you see what just happened to the blank cards? Do you know what these blanks are now? These are the Daybreak blanks. Because yes, now, if you do this, you get the Daybreak chemi cards. I thought this was the most ingenious way to get the Daybreak cards in. Now, currently, there are only 2 Daybreak cards programmed. The idea is 10 Daybreak cards. We might go stupid and add all of the Daybreak cards, but I'm only planning the 10. We're currently working on something. This is the city. And you might have noticed, in the city, the chemi cards, the blank chemi cards have changed again. And let me just ditch these so I can clear my inventory. So what kind of chemi cards do you think the city's going to give us? Legend chemi cards! Now, the city is available in the current version. In which, I mean, if you use the command, you can get in here. But as you can see by these plants, we still have a lot to do with this. But the city is a work in progress, so I don't want to show too much about the city. But this is essentially the thing Axos has been working on. And I've got to admit, this thing looks amazing. Oh, and by the way, this structure here is based on the drive pit, and there just happens to be a super secret thing behind this block. If you come to a city, break this block, okay? This thing is giant. This thing is stupid. I love this thing. I love it. Yay! We got a little bit of a monstrosity there. This is Kamen Rider Shin-O from a Shin-Chan Den-O crossover. I figured, seeing as we've got the Shin-Chan switch for Forza, Shin-O kind of just made sense to add. On the character, this looks amazing. And just look at this thing run. I just love this thing. I'm recording, dude. What you doing? What you doing? Yeah. Are you gonna... Shut the door behind you. So, I think this sword plinth is going to be actually quite interesting for display worlds. Now, I don't know what Axos is planning with this block. if it's going to be just used in structures or if it's going to be something you could craft. Because I could very easily see this something like crafting 3 buttons together, or even putting a piece of stone in the stone cutter and you get this or something. We have train fists. I could punch you with a train. This is the Honkai Star Rail form. Iron Gotchard. Nope, did not get one off the first one. That should make things a bit faster. Well, that was easy. Okay, so what was that item I just got? This is the White Was Time Machine ride watch. Now, if you don't know, this is a ride watch based on the ride watch that's on the face for the time machine, especially White Was's time machine. So, why do we want this? Well, this is how you get to the city. So yes, now you can get to the city, meaning Kamen Rider Legend is now obtainable within survival, along with a multitude of different forms. I'm gonna stop being Chanel. Well, there are various different additional kind of items that weren't obtainable, which are now obtainable in survival because the city is obtainable. Now, should I show off some of these, or should I leave them as surprises? Actually, you know what? Let's go and show off one of them. Does mean finding the building, but if I can find the building, that could be interesting. All I'm doing is looking for a 7-Eleven. This is the 7-Eleven in question. And if you go up here, what's that? What's that? It's the No Food. No Rider is now obtainable in survival, which is awesome. Which is the shop from Kamen Rider Saber, the bookshop. In here, you have the music disc for Almighty. Yay. We have a 7-Eleven, 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 a 7-Eleven. Yes, if you can't tell, we do need more structures. This is Kamen Rider Hexa O's. It's spelt with 6 O's or O's, but it's pronounced Hexa O's. What are you doing here? What are you doing here? Ah, there's another one up there. We have the love carve. We have the love carve. Yay! This dude, what's his name? Carvis? I'm just gonna call you Carvery and then get really hungry because I want some gammon. I'm hungry now. And last but no means least, we have Kamen Rider Zets. I don't know how you pronounce it. I've been saying Zets. I've been told it's Zest. So it's kind of like rest because it's sleep based. I'm going to continue saying Zets until I hear it properly announced. But seeing as I still call this Vwam, I'm probably going to mispronounce it for quite a while too. Because Zets sounds pretty interesting. If you don't know, this is going to be this year's rider. It's only just been announced. So yes, it is already in the mod. Added a lot faster than Gavv was. And it's not obtainable. Of course it's not obtainable. We haven't seen the show. We don't know how things work. So it's just not obtainable yet. It will be at some point. But it's in. And if I do a time set midnight. It glows. I had to make sure to give it a glow effect. It's that time again. It's that time again. Come on, go on. Say it in the comment section below. Hey, come on. Devlog time. I love this thing. It's so ugly. I absolutely love it. Here's a picture if you're wondering what it's meant to look like. So first off, we have fishing gummy assist, which yeah, I made it 3D. I figured why not. Now that I'm getting a bit more comfortable with what I want to do with the 3D models, I can actually add more. And I think this kind of fits the style that I want to go with the 3D stuff. So yeah, we got fishing gummy assist. What do you think? Yeah. And the one people are probably gonna be excited for. We have Gavv over. We have the first of Gavv's 2 final forms, and I went 3D, but I didn't go overkill on the 3D. Let me know. Does this work? Do you like it? I think I showed this off in the previous video, but we now have Master. So we have Over and Master. That's what the forms were called, right? Right. Is these 4 that Axos has made for us. And a bit of help from Hosif. I almost forgot about that. Hosif made this one. We've got Vram. Is it Frappe? No, that one's Frappe custom, isn't it? Is it Alamode? Is it Alamode? Alamode! I only remember that because of Madolce pudding says Alamode. Yep. That was my favorite Yu-Gi-Oh deck. L has also been busy. I believe these are the only 2 new ones for L, because we kind of keep on bugging L. We keep on like, come on L, come on, Godchild, come on. But we've got Legendary Legend and it's Premium Godchild, Premier, Platina. Okay, Platina Godchild. So we are now so close to having every single final form for at least the main riders in the mod. Especially now that we've got these 2, Master and Over. If I just fly over here, don't look at that, there's spoilers over there. You can see this and all of the final forms. Let me go. There we go. We're 1 short. We are 1 short. Come on. Star Godchild. So close. And then this is going to look awesome. And then we can all just complain at this dude for not having his final form yet. Wake up and get your final form, mate. We now have... there we go. We have steering left and right. The wheels now turn. And there's a little smoke when you start off. This is because the bikes accelerate, yet the wheels spin at the same speed. So I was like, you know what? It's wheel spinning. So I added a bit of smoke. I think these look really good. Let me know what you think about these. The ride vendor works like the programming blocks. And every time you right click it with a cell medal, it will give you a Candroid. Which I absolutely love this. There we go. We got all of the Candroids. Now, I'm going to get rid of that one because that one doesn't do anything currently. But we can see we've got Tora. The sounds are messed up on these. I will fix that at some point, but I don't think I'm recording sound in game, so that shouldn't be an issue. We have Kujaku. Taco. Utera. Frikela. Bata. Denki Nagi. I'm just going to call it Unagi. Gorilla. And the Taka can. Now, one extra little thing these all do is these are the same as dogs. And when you spawn them, they are instantly tamed, so you don't have to tame them. But the same way dogs sit down, these turn into the cans. Now, the flying ones don't always turn into the can. They will eventually. They just, when you give them the command, they kind of just decide when they want to turn into a can or not. But now we have Star Gotchard. I love this thing. So pointy. Yes, this does now mean that we have every modern rider with a final form in. I consider final form starting with Cougar. You can make the argument that Stronger was the first final form, but I make the argument it's Cougar. It's modern rider. It's Cougar. We have all the final forms now, which I'm ecstatic. I mean, somebody needs to wake up and give us their final form. I mean, I know episode 1 hasn't aired yet, but give us the final form. Come on. Come on. I want to complete this. Come on. Come on. You can do it. You remember that little particle thing I had going with Zets? Yeah, now we got proper particles. And I can set it up so it's different for every form. I could do this before, but I could never get the particles to change colour. I cracked the code though. Instead of trying to manually adjust the colours on stock Minecraft particles, I just add my own particles. Once that kind of went into my head, I was like, what can I do? What can I do? I mean, if I go over here, you can see realizing copper. I added the lines. I think that looks absolutely amazing. If I deal with all this lag and just fly over here, this is my favorite one. This is my favorite one. Gavv. Have I got shaders on? I've got shaders on, haven't I? Let me remove shaders. For some reason, Gavv's particles look so much better without shaders on. I mean, look at that. That looks amazing. You could see the particles then. That looks amazing. Let me just... Henshin. Then we got punching gummy. You can see I made it so it's just the blue particles for punching. Just the orange for kicking. Crisps. I actually have little crisps flying off. I love it. I love it. And the Gashapon. I decided just to go insane with the particles. I'm going to play a video here. I'm going to put it on the screen. Just know this was a test. And I'm not going to add it to the mod because there was a lot of issues with it, but it does open up possibilities for adding other things in the future. So, however awesome I think it looks, don't get your hopes up, unfortunately. I completely forgot about my hat. You know what? You know what? It stays for this video. You know, this is really the highlight of our week. I'm happy I managed to finally get this added. There's only one more thing from Shin Kamen Rider that I want to add, which is the equivalent of the Shocker Riders. Cape Code. L made this Cape Code. I kind of stole it and turned it into hair. You'll see more of that Cape Code later on. Okay, this is awesome. You're gonna like this. You ready? You ready? You ready? That's so cool. That's so cool. I guess we gotta go back to the other world. It had to go dark. Moon. Oh, do you like my hat? It's based on this. Because I decided that thing looks like me, so I stole its hat. It's my hat now. We could show off a lot of the stuff we were working on in like a second. You ready? You ready for this? Now, it's not finished. There's still some forms left, but you gotta admit, that looks pretty goddamn cool. So, you might be wondering, what is that moon? Well, that is no moon. This is planet Megahex. I want to thank everyone. We are slowly getting towards the 1.0 release. You have no idea how amazing this feels to me. I started porting the mod to a newer version and rebuilding it from the ground up almost, well, not almost, over 2 years ago. And we are almost at version 1, which is insane to say. But I wouldn't have got here if it wasn't for all of your guys' support, as well as the amazing people over on the Discord, as well as the absolutely amazing team that I've slowly started to form. We have the fish dude. I've wanted to add these probably for like 7-8 years, and I've never got round to it. Well, this year it gave me an excuse. And if you click the machine, you get a capsule. Let's just... But inside, you get random kind of gimmicky items, like the Gangan G emblem, which you need to craft Gangan G. So in this chest, you can kind of see all the options we've got. What if I could do something else with these Gashapon balls? What if... I don't know. I could take some... If I could take some rider circuits. Anyone see where this is going? We take some Gashapon balls. We take some rider circuits. We craft some capsan. And then we take our Gashapon machine. And we surround that. We get the capsule dropper. And then what if we right click them with the code capswim? If you can't work that out, Zets is available in survival. You think of how long it took us to get Gavv and Gotchard available? We're up to episode 4 of Zets, and I've coded a way to make it obtainable. That is insane! And I really hope they don't pull some sort of weirdness and say that wing can be used with transform, because that's not the way I've set this code up, and it's going to be incredibly annoying. Talking about that, Sodo blog posted this thing, and now I have fears. Now I have fears. Now I have fears. Especially because they posted this as well. We also have Kamen Rider Low Q. This item will never get old. I have made friends with the Cheeseman. It's designed so you can stand in it. So I believe that's it for the secrets. Let me just fly over here and double check. Yes, this is looking pretty amazing. Goodbye, world. You will be missed. Right, that... I meant to apply that to everyone, not just myself. Okay, now I've got to clean this up, haven't I? This is entirely my ghost plan so far. And I feel like this is going to be the first thing you notice. This is the monolith. So this is Dorado. He has big horns. He exists. And I don't have a Gashapon ball in there anymore. Give me a... We'll get onto that in a sec. But yes, we have a new Halloween Gashapon ball. I've been looking for an excuse to incorporate Master Rider into the mod somewhere. This just seemed fitting. If anyone's complaining about the Furbis, you could just do this with it. I've had so many people say, why have you brought that abomination into this? I had to, it was fun. To the moon. And 1 gold. You get a rider circuit. Yes, I have updated the rider circuit texture. The main reason I wanted to update this texture is it's really been kind of in my face the last couple of months. This the old rider circuit texture. You don't know. I generally allow anyone to use my textures. I used to be kind of super duper, no, you can't use my textures, don't use my stuff, don't use my stuff. But then people start using my stuff and it's like, just being defensive is just gonna, it's just gonna cause issues. So it's just like, you know what? It's not worth it. People can use it. And the amount of mods, well, the amount of rider mods I've seen that reuse my rider circuit texture, it's funny. And every single time I see that rider circuit texture, I'm reminded of how bad it looked. So I've updated it. How long do you think it's going to be before I see the first mod steal the new rider circuit texture? If you don't know, I'm currently trying to upload daily shorts at the moment, where every day I add a new thing to the mod, be it new rider, new block, new just something. And this was the one I uploaded yesterday. It's tomorrow's underwear from Kamen Rider O's. And what does this item do? It does nothing. But if you have some sticks and some string, you can make tomorrow's underwear on a stick. I have far too much power. This is Utan from Kamen Rider Build. Just put these rabbits everywhere. It's adorable. And you can wear it on your head. I absolutely love this. Kiva's Throne, the Dynamic Buster, Hayabusa-kun from Kamen Rider Forze, Legend Signal Bike Eyes. We've got these, which are based on the kind of stripped down mission memories that came with the DX toys. This is the Wonder Swan, which is the games console Emu received as a child from the Doctor that kind of pushed him down the path of becoming both a doctor and a gamer. So yeah, it's a very important lore item for Kamen Rider X-Aid, so I kind of wanted to add that. If you're wondering, this is actually based on a real games console called the Wonder Swan. One day I'm going to buy that game console. I keep on looking at it on eBay and I keep on considering it. One day I will actually do it. Actually, you know what? If this video gets 100 likes, I'll buy a Wonder Swan. That's a stupid idea. Yeah, if this video gets 100 likes, I'll actually buy a Wonder Swan. I haven't checked the prices in a while. Hopefully they're not ridiculous. This is the Wonder Story, which is the pop-up book that appeared in Kamen Rider Saber. We've got the Yamato Riders Scythe, which the Yamato Riders can now actually spawn holding this scythe, as well as the Yamato Riders can now spawn with different forms based on the 1 or 2 episodes where they had the Fever Buckle. They used Fever Boost and Fever Monster, I believe. Broken Dopant memory that appeared in Utopia, as well as its fixed version. We have coloured versions of the Big Flame Wizard and Water Wizard ring. And lastly, we added a new boss. Why isn't that working? I'm going to need to look into that. Why isn't the mob spawning? Has somebody broke it? Another D-end. We've got a shocker base. I wonder how many likes that last video got. Let me have a look. Well, I'm a bit poorer now, aren't I? We have the painting from Agita. This is Yamanin. This is the Helheim fruit. Now, this was in the mod prior, but if you eat it as Baron, nothing happens. Other than the fact you get poisoned. But I added a little bit extra. First, let me grab a sword. This sword. Now, if anyone knows what this sword is the sword that is dropped by the Lord Baron. Why is this important? Because if you have this sword and you eat a Helheim fruit, you now turn into Lord Baron. And we've got the Zaya specs. These are the gold variants of Impact, Transform, and Wing. So for Kamen Rider Ryuki, I added a bunch of new cards. I made the Zek Troopers item a 3D. This looks amazing. And of course, because I just made the item 3D, all the mobs spawn with it. It looks amazing. I meant to show you this last week, but I forgot. One of my favorite items I've added so far in this series is this rubber duck. And the reason is, I don't know how well you can hear that, but it squeaks. Chip sword things. But what if they were chocolate? One of the things that always bugged me about the way I had Hibiki set up is the unfinished arm saber. The unfinished arm saber was just a grayscaled version of the arm saber, and it looked terrible. The thing is, it was actually based on something from the Kamen Rider Hibiki movie. So I updated the texture to be like this sword from the Hibiki movie. What if Blade was fake? I'm sorry, this is just hilarious. I updated Ichigo. Ichigo is now not just updated in texture, we now have 3D model. I love the way this turned out. We have Nox and Ice. When they've revealed a new Wham form, I had to add it. As you are probably aware, I've been working on this challenge over the last couple of weeks, and thanks to this wonderful comment, I came up with the perfect idea for the last item. This is the Akari cannon. What does it do other than make sparkles? Well, it makes the Gamma Commandos glow. And now with this series done, the question is, what is my next challenge series going to be? Thanks to Axos, some work has been done on Kiva now. I don't think Kiva's complete yet, but it's well on the way. This is the Full Whistle Replicator. You don't know how many times it took me to actually say that. And this is the first of our new machine blocks. Now, I've been saying I've been wanting to do this for a while, and Axos kind of beat me to it. And this is how you get the fake Full Whistles. I updated Zeds. Zeds now has a more accurate texture. You might be wondering, why did I update this? Well, I made the original Zeds texture before Zeds actually aired and before we got proper reference images for it. So I've been wanting to update this ever since. Give it a more accurate back. And I felt whilst I'm starting to do 3D, I might as well give Zeds 3D. Whilst I have Wonder, let me show you something else. This is a new effect I am experimenting with. I've currently called it Wonder. What does this effect do? Now if I hit V, I grow. And if I shift and hit V, I shrink. I'm sorry, I think this is really cool. Whilst Chair was helping me with Zeds, we also got 2 new forms. We also got Plasma. Yeah, I'm already excited to see how this works in this week's episode. And probably should have put a spoiler warning. I have been working on the rider kicks. Apart from the fact they now look slightly cooler, I don't know, the gust and that, I think that looks cool. I've actually changed the way they work. Previously, they worked as just a normal attack, but now I have added a unique damage type for them. Now, what does that mean? It means if somebody would ride a kick, you would get Did I just rider kick every armor stand as well? I really need to start making backups of this world just in case anything goes wrong. Obscure Kamen Riders are one of my favourite things to add to this mod, because it allows us to kind of geek out, nerd out, and be like, you know about this dude? Well, do you know about this dude? This is Kamen Rider Dan-O. You know, it wouldn't be a Christmas update without doing at least something for Laser. And whilst we're at it, I added a new form for Laser. Not very nice. I'm actually surviving a lot better than I was expecting here. Maybe not. If we take the Rex voice stamp, we got the voice bike. Or as I believe Chair called it, the voicicle. And that kind of led us to, Takoyaki Master. This is so dumb, I love it. We also ended up with some new food because of this. We got takoyaki, milk, and a puzzle piece. I don't get the context with the puzzle piece. I probably should watch Blade. But please do not eat. Henshin. I have updated the Ryuki texture. This is not it. There's a lot more. Because you see, thanks to the team, we actually managed to update every single Ryuki rider. And when I say every single, I mean every single form as well. Every single rider, every single form. It's all done. And we have Ryuki Blank. Ryuki with shields. Ryuki Survive. Black Ryuki Survive. This is based on this final figure. I love it when I can do obscure things. Talking about obscure things. Ryuki Drag Rider from Card Warrior Kamen Rider, as well as Ryuki Drag Granza. Also from Card Warrior. I love the way this turned out. This is one of my favourite forms in existence now. We have Knight. He does actually have the ears. The Batman ears. Knight Blank. Knight with the bat attached to the back. Got a cape. It doesn't actually do the cape thing. Everyone complained to L. Knight Survive. And the Card Warrior form, which always looks goofy, but I think is funny. We have Oja. Oja Blank. Oja Survive based on the SIC. And Oja Survive based on Outsiders. We have Sizzle. No, not the Pokemon. Zolda. The Giga Cannon's in here, but I can't be bothered to go and grab the card. Raya. Now, which card is it? Raya Survive. Here's the face kind of pink on this dude. We have Guy. Tiger. Impala. Odin. Fem. Batal. Ryuga. With Ryuga Survive. And the Card Warrior form based on this. Yay. You can't tell I love the Card Warrior forms. They're so stupid, I love them. Varde. And Abyss. I'm not going to go into too much details for spoiler reasons, but this is a rider which was shown off in the preview for this week's episode of Kamen Rider Zets. Now, I already know who this is because we had to add it and had to add in some of the extra forms associated with this dude. But for now, I'm not going to go into too much details for spoiler reasons. But Zets now has, I guess, the secondary. Which, I gotta admit, adding the secondary is always kind of nice, just so I can, like, look at all the previous riders and just go, yeah, we have them all. I mean, just that alone. Going, Vulcan, Blades, Live, Evil, Tycoon, Majade, Valen, and this dude here has added the Armor of Ogre, I believe this is, from Kamen Rider Hibiki. This is Kamen Rider Agito based on this painting. Funny enough, I added the painting last year for the challenge to add something for every single series, which is kind of convenient that now they're referencing this painting. But in this painting, there is a picture of a Red Rider. It's about here-ish. You can't really see it in the picture, so I'll put a better picture here. This is Agito based on that. Kind of. This is Ichigo from Kamen Rider the First. And whilst I added this, I figured why not? And I added the variant based on Kamen Rider the Next. And it does mean I was able to add another rider to this wall. I absolutely love the way this turned out. I'm so happy. And the last thing I am going to go through today is thanks to Andrew. We have updated V3 based on the Ichigo and Nigo textures. I think this looks awesome. We also got updated Rider Man, but Zetz isn't a horse, so they gave him a horse. That looks like Zetz. I'm Zetz. On the Zetz horse. Horse. Rider Man now has hands. This is still a work in progress. You can ride it. You could drive around. You could go wee wee, yeah, boost, striker. In ruined portals, there is now a chance of you finding this. So if I just place this glass here, and you can see I have an advent deck. This only works if you have an advent deck on you and you break it. It plays an ear-piercing weird little noise, and it gives you this effect called mirror noises. And then as soon as mirror noises is over, it spawns in one of the mirror riders. Okay, last time round I said I'd add a new item. For every new subscriber closer to 6,000 I get. And I'm only expecting like, I don't know, like 10, 20 new subscribers at the most. Let's have a look, see how many I... Oh no. That's going to be a lot of items. Yeah, don't pay any attention to that. We'll get onto that later. During the last challenge I did, I added Signal Legend Fies, and now Signal Legend Fies was the only one to actually appear on screen, and I felt wrong just only having Fies. So I added the rest of them. I decided to add all the flavor variants. Axos had previously textured all of these, so I figured, why not add them? Let me know. Do you think this could work as a boss block crafting recipe? I think it could. And talking about Gochizu, Crying Gummy. I need to do more random paintings. I love this thing. And we have the Legend Capsa. She has this thing now. Thanks to Hosip, we've gained these two new cards. The final Kamen Rider Kuga, Rising Ultimate Form, and the final Kamen Rider Den-O, Cho Climax. I have no idea what these cards do. Well, that's a thing. And I forgot this was a thing. This is a thing. Thanks, Hosif. So, when there's a Ultraman and Ichigo crossover, we get giant Ichigo. Chair's finally got around to finishing the boost striker. As you can see, we have a bike. This isn't overly interesting. I showed you the bike last time, but if you shift right click now, it transforms. YouTube friendly if we make friends with them. Nope. I'm sure I coded this right. Yay. One actually spawned in. This is a Poltergeist. Still to this day, I absolutely love these bikes. I mean, some of them might not look a bit weird. Some of them might look kind of strange. Some of them might need updating. But I love these. I mean, even the rider on. I know it's not a bike, it's a car, but it still looks pretty cool. And I've been working on them. Because one of the things that really bugged me was the wheels. Now, we managed last time to get this steering going from side to side, but the wheels would only ever go forwards, and I could never work out how to get the wheels to go backwards and forwards and even stop on the current rotation. But after working on the mirror riders, I learned a bit of code that let me save data to a mob. And I figured, why not save the rotation to the mob? And that now lets us have the wheels turning properly in both directions, forwards and backwards, and even saving their current location. I know this is just such a little minor thing the average person probably wouldn't care about, but I love it. I mean, it works with the cars as well. I think that's hilarious. But wheels roll, but you know what else does? Balls. Yes, I applied this same logic to the Cougar ball. We now get a proper roll forwards, we now get a proper roll back, and it even rolls to the sides. This looks so much better than it used to. Okay, you need to hit like for the Cougar balls, right? You might remember last time round I added a Poltergeist. And the cape kind of annoyed me for much of the same reasons the bike forms and the ball forms annoyed me. Where sometimes the cape just wouldn't behave the way I wanted. Well, now it does. You look at it, if you walk backwards, the cape doesn't flap up like when you walk forwards. You jump now, the cape goes up. When you really go high, you can see it really just flap up. As well as I added like special code for swimming and everything. The capes are so much better now. The capes are so much better. Actually, talking about Hosif has been working on a absolutely massive project, and I've got a feeling they might want to talk about it.
どうも、仮面ライダークラフトレコード作曲家、そして開発チームメンバーのホスフォーサーと申します。
One of the most common questions I get asked about this mod is animations. And the problem with animations is, put simply, I don't know how to do them. Now, you might be wondering, well, there's tons of mods out there, just use them as reference, and unfortunately that doesn't help. Pretty much every single one of those mods I've looked into is created using a program called MC Creator. Now, I manually code everything, where MC Creator is essentially you take a whole bunch of elements and you tell them how to work, and then it works. It kind of creates the code for you, where for me, I am manually creating the code. So the two mod creation styles completely different, and they're just not compatible. But I'm still trying. So this is the closest to an animation that I can achieve, which, to be honest, doesn't look too bad. But when you put it on an armor stand, you can really see the fact that the tire is flickering and going crazy. This was my best attempt, and unfortunately, I don't think it's good enough. Andrew has gone through and updated pretty much all of the Kabuto riders. We have Kabuto, Gatak, the Bee, Drake, Sasword. Is that one Kick Hopper and that one Punch Hopper? Or is that one Punch Hopper and this one Kick Hopper? I think this one's Kick Hopper, that one's Punch Hopper. If not, just invert them. Dark Kabuto. Oh. Somebody needs to fix that. Then we have the Zek Troopers. Is that the Neo Zek Trooper, the Bright Trooper, and the... No, wait. That's the Shadow Trooper, isn't it? That's Shadow. That's Bright, and this is Neo Zek Trooper. Yeah! I'm a true Kamen Rider fan. Yeah. And the movie riders, of course. So we're gonna go Henshin. Yeah, this looks awesome. The 3D really makes this pop. And you know what? Cast off. Hyper cast off. Yeah, this also looks pretty cool. So Hyper Kabuto. And if we now hyper clock up, You actually get a form change. And this thing is wickedly fast. I think I'm going to hand it over to Chair for the next one. So yes, Kamen Rider Thighs has been updated. Now, it was me that started retexturing the head, but Chair really wanted to do Thighs after they did Thighs next. So I was like, okay, you can finish it. We got an updated Thighs and an updated... I never know how to say this dude's name. So I'm going to just say a pile of sand. Yes, it's the pile of sand. I've got to admit, this is now starting to look nice with Kuga, Agito, Ryuki, and Thighs updated. This dude needs a bit of love. I've got a feeling he might get a bit of love soon. I mentioned last time that I'm trying a little bit of an experiment with him. And, well, it's a lot better than it was. It's a whole lot better than it was. Still off-centered. I'm going to have to update the model on these to get the rest of this done, but they are actually now spinning correctly. That looks so cool. That looks so cool. I am so happy with the way these turned out. This isn't going to look very right because it's going to go from behind, but I love the way these are progressing. These are looking great. Let me know, are you excited that we are actually starting to do some animation stuff? And you know what, whilst we're talking about it, let's do another thing that I've been meaning to add for a while, and Blurtle has actually helped us out with. On my list of kind of things I've wanted to have in the mod, but I've had no idea to do, is custom projectiles. And, well, might be a bit too fast to see, you know what? If I do tick freeze, you might be able to see them. We now have custom projectiles. Now, these are just cell medals. There is a laser in the middle of being worked on, but I don't know what it's been added to yet because the one I was sure had the laser didn't have the laser. So for now, all I'm going to do is show off cell medals. I think this looks awesome. You know what? I think this is looking awesome. We have things. These are things, right? These things look really nice at night. I hope I've done this thing correctly. This is Kamen Rider Blade. No, not that Kamen Rider Blade. This Kamen Rider Blade. Yes, there's two Kamen Rider Blades. No, not two Kamen Rider Blades. I mean, there are two Kamen Rider Blades, but there's the Kamen Rider Blade, there's two of them, okay? They're really not making this easy, isn't it? It's almost as bad as another Agito. No, not another Agito, it's another Agito. No, I'm not talking about another Agito. It's another Agito. It's another Agito, but not the another... That one's also a confusing one, okay? Okay? That one's really confusing. But yes, this is Kamen Rider Blade. Now, this was shown off, I believe, on a box or a magazine or something. So essentially what would happen if a different person ended up receiving Kamen Rider Raya's advent deck and ended up using it. I believe it's tied into the story in somehow. I don't know all of the details, but we've seriously just wanted this in the mod for a while. And if you want to obtain that version of Kamen Rider Blade, you're going to have to come here to the Sands of Time and do the Advent Rider thing of breaking the glass with an Advent deck. I still love the way this turned out. And as you can see, Kamen Rider Blade appears. And we added him here because it's like alternate timeline and this is all about timelines. This makes sense, right? We have a new item in the Love Card plush. She fell over. And I believe you can put her on your head as well. Now, I've been trying to work out what I actually want to do with the final form rights. Do I want to have it so you use it as Decayed and it gives you the item or summons the rider associated with it or something? Or do I want to have it so you use it as the rider it's based on and you turn into the thing? Never quite sure. But one thing I know, I had to turn Chalice into chocolate. I didn't know Blurtle had actually pushed anything to do with Blade yet until I started recording this. Yeah, this is pretty good. Whenever there's a game-breaking bug, I always like to add a couple of things into the update as an apology. And what I decided to do was update Black RX. So yes, we have an updated Masked Rider. If that's the name you want to use, I'm just going to call it Black RX. I think this is a massive improvement, and yes, I did the Cheeseman variant. There's going to be people that don't understand the Cheeseman. Everybody, hit like on this video if you're friends with the Cheeseman. And Andrew actually helped out and updated X during a PS1 game, or PSX, whichever you want to call it. If you played as the Shocker Rider and completed the game, there's an extra little bit at the end where the Shocker Rider 1 would go through an upgrade. And well, I added that upgrade. This is the Saikyo Kaijin Shocker Rider, or Strongest Kaijin, or Greatest Kaijin, is what we decided to go with in the mod. This looks absolutely amazing in my opinion. Blurtle has been working on Blade. I showed off Blade last time, but now we have Garen, Chalice, and Liangle. Not all of their forms have been updated, but a good few of their forms, so you know what? Let's show some off. First off, we have Blade Jack form. Now complete with cape, which does move, and does spread out when flying. I love the way this turned out. Next we have Garen, which, same thing, has cape, can fly, looks awesome. And next we have Liangle. This is based on the SIC figure, so of course it had to be a bit bulkier, and I love the way this was done. Yeah, I'm going to be saying that a lot for these, aren't I? And last we have Chalice. Now I hope this is the right card. Yay! So if you're Kamen Rider Blade and you get the time effect, that did not last for long. If you are Kamen Rider Blade and you get the time effect, yeah, the visor becomes a bit yellowed. I think that's funny. I am constantly trying to come up with new and interesting effects that I could add to some of the riders, just to make them a bit more unique from some of the others. And I think I come up with a new one. This is the climbing effect. What does it do? Kind of works like spider climbing. I mean, it's absolutely hilarious. If you've, I don't know, change the amplifier to 255, the absolute max, and then you hit a block and whee! It's even funnier when you apply it to mobs. I have far too much power, don't I? You might be thinking that's just a hill, that's just a mountain, and that's where you'll be fooled. Yeah, because this is a secret base. You might tell by the road and path going up to the entrance. Let's walk up. And let's open the door. I love the fact that I've managed to actually use these barricades. We walk in. Have you worked out where we are? This is the Shocker base. Yeah, I actually finally got this added. So here we got the first room. I kind of want to add some more details to this, but I kind of love the way that it is just a secret base. If you didn't know it was here, you kind of wouldn't know. But once we go inside, it becomes very clear. And when we drop down, it becomes very clear. Seeing as Kamen Rider Agito is celebrating its 25th anniversary this year round, and we've got a few new reveals revolving the G armor and the G system. I have updated G3. Now this looks amazing. It looks so good that the previous versions look absolutely terrible now. Now I can put a before and after here. Actually, you know what? I'll put this on screen and I'll put the before next to it. And you can see just how much of an improvement this is. Well, now we have the updated King form. It also comes in silver thanks to this one prize figure thing. I love it when we can add something obscure. And king form. We showed off the big bulky boy with the SIC Jack form last time round. Well, now we've got the king form from the stage show. The Joker undead, as well as the albino Joker undead, or as I call him, Albert. Everybody say hello to Albert in the chat. Talking about Blade, Osif has actually granted us with a new music disc. Now, I'm not going to put it in the player, just because I'm going to try and remember to put it in the background of this video at some point. But this is Elements, the second opening for Kamen Rider Blade. Meaning, I think we've got every main series opening now. But you know what? If I'm going to be running around in the city looking for stuff, might as well do it in style. This is a new building I've not seen before. You know what? I'm sure this is a reference to something. You get the Carvis boss block. And yes, this is a boss block, meaning if you break it in survival, you spawn in a boss. Now, I might be cheating, but yeah, that was easy. And this is how you get Hexenheim. Now I think I'm going to end this here. Now there's a few more things I want to show off, but you know what? I'm going to leave them for next time. So if you've enjoyed this for even a split second, please do consider hitting the like button and subscribing if you're not already. Any and all support is so greatly appreciated. So till next time, goodbye. And Hosif has granted us with Zikros. I still love saying Zikros. Zikros. Last time round, I showed off my updated Kamen Rider G3. Since last time, I managed to get G3X, G3 Mild, G4, G4X, Kamen Rider G1. We have Kamen Rider G6. This is a variant of Kamen Rider Odin that we saw in the SIC book thing. Yes, this is how that building is meant to spawn in. If you can't tell, this is Kamen Rider Kiva's kind of dragon thing. I can't remember if this was ever stored inside of a building in Kiva or if this was just a thing from Decade, but it's definitely a thing. Yep, he now has the backpack thing. Now you might be asking, well, that's just Black RX. What's special about this? And well, do you get it now? Like, now do you get it? Yes, I have started experimenting with some of the newer versions of Minecraft. Now, does this mean the mod's going to update? I don't know yet. Previously, I showed you the updated Masked Rider texture. Keep on calling it Masked Rider, Black RX. So we have Robo Rider. I absolutely love the way this turned out. In Masked Rider, I believe this one is called Super Gold. Don't quote me on that. And then we have Bio Rider. Okay, out of these two, I think Bio Rider turned out the best. This looks so cool. This is so much better than it used to be. So you know what? Spoiler time! Make sure you now look away if you want to avoid spoilers. I mean, I guess you could also close your eyes. By now, you should be aware of this thing. Well, this thing does another thing. This thing does this thing. It is a thing. Now, I was considering showing this off in a previous episode, but I decided to keep it back just to give Blurtle a chance to work on it a bit more. Now, what am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about the GX launcher. Now, the GX launcher has been in for a while, but what's kind of new? Well... Devlog time. Well, more like showtime. So Andrew has updated Zoe and Jay. You see, when it's just an update like this, I don't have much to talk about. And yeah, I think these both look really nice. And You didn't know Jay actually has a form change. If you click the form item, you can grow giant. Amazon. This time, it's not Andrew giving us a new updated shower rider. It's Chair. We have Stronger charged up. Tackle? How could I forget Black Tackle? We've also ended up getting a slight update to Ains, because whilst Andrew was updating all of the Amazon stuff, well, you might as well add an S to it and make it Amazons. So we have an updated Alpha, Omega, and Sigma. So I guess it's time. I love the way that looks. Well, what about water? Yeah, it goes the opposite way. Okay, what about hurricane? What about land? Now, this could be done a little bit better, but I think it's absolutely hilarious. I love this. I honestly could spend hours just messing around with this. Yay! Andrew added the new rider. Well, this time round, we actually have some of this Season 2 stuff. We have, is it Neo? Neo! Yeah, I was correct. As well as Neo Alpha. That's insanely cool. This week, I have decided to add a few extra forms. Why does it keep on popping up? Rider kick ready. Wizard can't rider kick without the ring. Wait. Is it essentially you use the ring? I was wondering why rider kick ready was popping up for wizard. Now it makes sense. You need the ring to rider kick. Wondering why the button wasn't working. So this week I added a few new forms, so let's get into them. We have Flame Dragon, Water Dragon, Hurricane Dragon, Land Dragon, and we can get All Dragon. Where are the wings? Give me a sec. See, I told you there were wings. I wasn't just making it up. There's wings. Mat Dragon. And I just couldn't work on all these dragon forms without going special brush. But I guess it does do one thing. It's a robot. This is Kamen Rider Alpha and Kamen Rider Beta. As Chair has updated Sky Rider. Yeah, sorry, I can't look at this dude without thinking of Flaming Hot Cheetos. So previously, I showed you the fact that we now have magic circles going. I love that. We have Wizard dress up. Look at him with his little top hat. Garuda. Additionally, I changed the effects. I gave it the glide effect, because this is just too much fun. Kraken, another SIC form. I think this looks amazing. Infinity Dragon. It was like no reason not to do this. You probably, I don't know if you saw it or not, but yeah, the head appears on the foot. I love that. Gold Infinity Dragon. Lion. Lion. We have Falco. Chameleon. Buffer. Dolphy. Hyper. Mage. Yeah, I got the diagonal circles working on these. So we have the orange mage, the blue mage, the green mage, The Imperial Guard, I believe it is, with the orange bit, with the yellow bit. The Imperial Captain with red. Now, I believe technically these two should have the circle going in a different direction. I just noticed the circle's a different color on these two. I did not notice that. Andrew, you did a good job if that was intentional. But Hosif has also granted us the Wise Man with the both versions. I love the way that magic circle goes. I don't care what anyone says. These magic circles are so much fun. Look at it go. Yeah. And then lastly, we have Sorcerer. Okay, time for a perfectly normal dev. Oh, yeah, what the? Henshin. I'm still really happy with this. So, thanks to Andrew, we have an updated Kamen Rider Deno. Yay, it's even 3D. I'm actually I'm a massive fan of the way this turned out. Just realised I'm missing. I am not down there. I am not down there. Oh, I am down there. I'm just absolutely tiny. Yeah. Oh, so here we have my display of all of the riders and forms just set up. And I think this is really cool now. I've updated O's. I mean, it's not done yet. There's still a lot of work to do here. I mean, you can kind of tell by, yeah, they're not happy. Ututera is not happy. But Tatoba is happy. I love the fact that we've now actually got the claws on the arms. So what is the main reason I wanted to update O's? Well, like I said, this is devlog 50 and I wanted to do something at least somewhat special. O's was the very first rider that I turned into a Minecraft mod. It wasn't really Kamen Rider Craft at that point. I just wanted to add Kamen Rider O's into the mod. In fact, this belt texture, as well as some of the items, for example the Meta Jalaba, are actually some of the original textures from back then. In fact, the core medals themselves got an update not that long ago. Realizing it was probably like 10 years ago now at this point. Wow, that was a long time ago. Seeing as this is devlog 50, I kind of want to just spend a moment to talk about how far we've come. I was actually editing a video last night, which I might end up uploading next week instead. But it was going through all of the devlog videos and then just picking out moments and that. And seeing this wall slowly assemble is absolutely amazing. I mean, this is how it looked in the original devlog video. We had just doubles riders up on one bit and then some of the Showa riders. And then in devlog 2, you actually got to see the origins of this wall. And then just slowly over time, we got more and more riders. And now we've got this. I absolutely love this. Now, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to destroy this world. A while ago, I was testing a new bit of code, and unfortunately, I loaded up this world thinking that all the code was good because it passed all the tests, and unfortunately, it is now corrupted every single one of these armor stands, meaning that I'm gonna have to delete every single one of these and reset them up. But I figured, you know what? Let's have one last look at all of these riders before that happens. I love this. I don't care what anyone says. I am so proud of the way this works. I am so proud that this series has managed to hit 50 videos, and I am so happy and grateful to all of you for supporting me. You have no idea how much I appreciate it. You have no idea how much I appreciate having a team that I can rely on. Thank you all. You know, it's been ages since I've done my proper outro, so I'm gonna do it. So if you've enjoyed this for even a split second, please do consider hitting the like button and subscribing if you're not already. Any and all support is so greatly appreciated, so till next time, goodbye.